Welcome to part 4 of Unbinding Prometheus. How generative AI liberates computational thinking from coding. This part of my presentation traces the evolution of prompt patterns as an essential new literacy of computational thinking. Prompt patterns are AI equivalents of classic software patterns, and they codify and shape how humans and AI can collaborate effectively via structured prompting. I'll then explain how generative AI is democratizing abstract reasoning and everyday decision-making, from acting as a conversational assistant and digital life organizer to functioning as an operating system that bridges and orchestrates tools, data, and human intent via generative AI. In today's AI-augmented world, knowing how to prompt generative AI platforms and tools has become as important as writing code via traditional programming methods. To perform effective computational thinking, it's now essential to be proficient with prompt patterns, which encapsulate best practices for phrasing prompts so that large language models can reason, extract, and generate with precision. These patterns provide structured ways for humans and AI to collaborate via reusable conversational strategies that bring clarity and control to an otherwise open-ended medium. Just as design patterns have long helped developers craft robust and sustainable software-reliant systems by codifying proven solutions to recurring programming problems, prompt patterns now offer a shared vocabulary for guiding the behavior of generative AI tools. Those of you who teach software engineering and programming may recognize the intellectual lineage from the influential Gang of Four book that codified key object-oriented design patterns to today's evolving body of work on prompt phrasing. Years ago, I co-authored several popular books on pattern-oriented software architecture that broadened the focus beyond object-oriented design patterns to also cover architectural patterns related to concurrent and network programming. It's fascinating to see similar principles of reuse, context, and communication are re-emerging in modern AI-augmented systems and processes. However, they're now shaping how we interact and collaborate with intelligent systems rather than how we program them. Although prompt patterns differ from traditional software patterns like bridge, adapter, or reactor, they are no less important and no less relevant. One of the most widely used examples is the persona pattern, where a user assigns a role-based identity to an AI model to shape how it responds. For instance, you might tell a large language model to act as a senior software engineer, a cybersecurity specialist, or a reliability architect, and then give it a set of tasks. Framing the conversation this way often dramatically improves an AI model's accuracy, tone, and contextual relevance. An analogy that comes to mind is Dumbledore's pensieve from the Harry Potter book series. He could pull memories and ideas from his mind and store them for later reflection. In a similar way, information can be encoded into a vector database and retrieved by a large language model through the persona pattern, essentially externalizing knowledge so it can be recalled with precision. Our 2023 paper, A Prompt Pattern Catalog to Enhance Software Engineering with ChatGPT, documents the persona pattern along with many other common prompt patterns. This paper has been cited over 2,500 times, which indicates how quickly this field is advancing. For those who want to explore further, my Vanderbilt colleague Jules White has many excellent, freely available, massive open online courses on prompt engineering, prompt patterns, trustworthy generative AI, and applying generative AI to engineer software-reliant systems. Let's now explore how computational thinking itself is evolving, and which kinds of artifacts and tasks are becoming commoditized along the way. Generative AI is accelerating this shift, extending the reach of computational thinking to everyone, and democratizing access to reasoning, analysis, and synthesis. Of course, this isn't the first time computation has been democratized. It's part of a long continuum of technological empowerment. In the 1980s, databases like DBase and Oracle put data storage and processing power into the hands of everyday professionals, while spreadsheets like Lotus 1, 2, 3 and Microsoft Excel brought tabular computation and analytical logic to millions. In the 1990s, search engines such as AltaVista, Yahoo, and Google revolutionized access to information discovery. Today, large language models like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude are doing for abstract reasoning and synthesis what those earlier tools did for data and search, making them universally accessible. Many newcomers use generative AI as a kind of conversational Google search, asking questions out of curiosity or nostalgia. I've often wondered who played the lead guitar solo in the Rolling Stones' performance of Sympathy for the Devil on the Get Your Yayas Out album. ChatGPT explained that both Mick Taylor and Keith Richards traded solos and even pointed me to a video of their performance. Another powerful way to use generative AI is as a planner and life organizer. Tools like the OpenAI Operator app can now plan an entire vacation to Joshua Tree National Park, from recommending hiking routes to booking flights and hotels. These systems don't just retrieve information. They take action by interacting with other online services, turning a simple prompt into a coordinated plan. But generative AI's true potential lies beyond productivity. It's becoming a kind of digital operating system for daily life. Through the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, large language models can securely discover, authorize, and connect to data sources and tools such as files, calendars, emails, databases, and web application protocols. With a single typed or spoken request, you could fetch a local PDF, summarize it, verify details online, and draft a follow-up email, all orchestrated through MCP with explicit permissions. It feels a bit like talking to the Star Trek computer, minus the warp core hum. Using generative AI as an operating system for your digital life means letting it serve as a unifying interface between your intent and your digital ecosystem. Instead of jumping between disconnected apps, tabs, and accounts, you describe what you want in plain language, and the AI coordinates the execution across tools and platforms. Your browser, calendar, inbox, and documents begin to function less like separate silos and more like extensions of a single intelligent workspace. Some people are even using generative AI as a personal life coach or training partner, setting and monitoring goals, building habits, and seeking guidance when they hit a wall. They prompt it for daily check-ins, motivational nudges, or scripts for difficult conversations, often pairing it with journaling or reflection. Used responsibly, AI can provide structure and accountability, but it should always complement, not replace, professional expertise in critical areas like physical and mental health, law, or medicine. As Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, recently observed, there's even a generational divide in how people use these tools. Older users often treat ChatGPT as a smarter Google. People in their 20s and 30s turn to it as a life advisor or trip planner, and college students increasingly treat it as an operating system for their digital lives. That concludes the fourth part of my talk on how generative AI is liberating computational thinking from code. In part 5, we'll explore how agentic AI frameworks like Google's Opal are transforming large language models into no-code computational thinking platforms that automate creative workflows and bridge the gap between human intent and technical implementation.